some studies that suggest that gaming can improve your brain imaging, decision making, strategy planning, memory, hand-eye coordination, brain flexibility. So truly all signs point to the idea that gaming is actually a really wonderful hobby to get into.
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai. So today we are going to be reacting to a video titled "The Truth About Cozy Gaming. Is it bad for you?" And this video was made by Cozy Game Night. Shout outs to her. But before we get started with everything, those of you all who've been around may notice something. Oh, it's the Where's Waldo sticker. You feel me? Oh my gosh. I got this because me and my kids was at the library and they be doing scavenger hunts at the library. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't finish it, but I was like, yo, I asked the librarian, yo, can we just get the prize anyway? We gotta go. You know what I mean? So she hooked us up, gave us some Where's Waldo stickers. You feel me? I got this one. And notice I said I because she gave them stickers. I'm like, yo, let me get some too. When I saw Where What, you act like you wouldn't ask for some too. I got that and I got this one. Y'all see that? Oh man. I'm trying to figure out what am I going to use this for. Man, I'm excited. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to this video.
When you think about gaming, what comes to mind? Maybe you're swamped with memories of your childhood, or maybe you'll think of the preconceived idea that they're not good for you, they're a waste of time, or even that they're for kids. Obviously, cozy gaming is a big part of my life and a big part of my friends.
Do y'all cozy game? You know, do you like the genre? See, I enjoy cozy gaming theoretically. I just don't like the games. A lot of the games that I see, I love the artwork, right? Like even this one that she's showing right here. Like I love this artwork. I love this pixel art style, but dude, I'm not trying to farm all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to farm all day. I'm not trying to do a bunch of potions and witch stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if they can make a cozy game where I'm just chilling and it's got some pixel art, you know what I mean? And I'm living like everyday life. Like I don't really need to be in a dungeon, you know, getting a bunch of diamonds or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and keep on going this video.
Friends' lives as well. I have experienced and seen firsthand the way that these games have helped us connect with each other, but also with ourselves. And it made me start to wonder why. If there's this mainstream idea of video games that seems to be mostly negative, and if video games are nothing but that, just games, then why is it that cozy gaming has become such an important part of our self-care routine and so popular in the last few years? And why does it feel like it's such a
Which y'all think is more important to self-care, cozy gaming, eating, or showers? Let me know in the comments.
contrast to what we've heard about gaming forever? I'm going scientist on you. And so I decided to make a video about this to kind of share my take. Maybe I can convince someone to give cozy gaming a shot in 2025. Or at the very least,
Yo, in order to convince me, you gonna have to give me some titles that's not super girly or farming, you know. Yo, man, I've been eating this brain freeze candy. I'm not gonna like I don't really want to get them no publicity because they ain't sponsoring me, you know what I'm saying? But I got this stuff at Walgreens. I ain't never getting this again. That's the plan. This stuff too good. I'm sitting here and ate the whole bag today. That's not what's up.
I can be a voice in the large space of the internet for the importance of gaming in a world that seems jet set and making it seem like a waste of time. So grab a cup of tea, get cozy, and let's talk about it.
Jet Set. Yeah, Jet Set Radio. That's a cozy game. I could dig that. I know that's not what she meant, but yeah, Jet Set Radio. That's a cozy game. Let me know if y'all think Jet Set Radio is a cozy game.
The first point I want to emphasize is that the world is going through unprecedented times. We can all feel it, and studies actually show that we are going through something called a stress crisis in the United States. And who can blame us? The horrors persist and persist and persist. But so do we. We currently live in a rapidly changing world that is making it really, really hard to find balance. Nearly 40% of Americans have reported to be at high peak stress at this time. And truly, this is not happening only in the United States. I feel like
Man, if you stressed out and you don't know what to do and stress is just overwhelming you, you need to pray and you need to pick up the word of God, i.e., the Bible. Don't, gaming, TV, comics, all of this stuff that we love and enjoy, man, is no substitute for Jesus, you know? Um, all of this stuff is secondary. So shout outs to her. I'm gonna let her say what she gotta say, but I want to let y'all know how to really deal with y'all stress, because it's not all fun and games over here. I mean, it is a lot of games. But man, I just gotta let y'all know, just keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is the number one answer for your stress. For real, for real. Not saying that you can't be a believer and still have stressful days. I'm not trying to say that, but I just want to let you know, if you know, you know.
like wherever you are in the world, everyone is feeling pretty similarly with the current climate. And of course, stress is a normal response to life, but it can become really detrimental if you have a lot of stress for long periods of time. It can lead to a lot of different physical and mental issues. And that kind of leads me to the importance of hobbies in 2025. For a while, I think a lot of people would make their hobbies their job. And now there's been a push against that where people are just saying just have a hobby for the sake of having a hobby.
Yeah, for real, for real. Like, it is like a whole culture of monetizing every single thing you do. You know what I mean? And sometimes you just gotta decompress without trying to make it about dollars, because ironically that can make things a lot less fun,
And I personally really
especially if you ain't getting them dollars.
love the rise of hobbies popularity. Hobbies have been proven to reduce the amount of cortisol in your body, which is one of the most widely studied hormones related to stress. For example, there was a study in which about 75% of participants' cortisol levels lowered just by making art. I feel like there's a reason why hobbies have become so popular recently, and especially in the last 5 years or so, there has been a tip over toward the rise of self care and hobbies in general. And in my opinion, those things make sense to be correlated to each other for us to have higher stress. And then also finding some kind of way to manage that stress by finding hobbies and fighting against the monotony of our day to day life and the horrors. And lowering your cortisol levels has a lot of really positive health benefits. It's better for your sleep, it lowers your blood pressure, helps your immune system, your cardiac health, your overall energy, and as well as reduces anxiety and depression. I think cozy gaming has become one of the biggest hobbies, at least in 2025. And cozy gaming is nothing but
Man, I be stressed when I be trying to play some of these cozy games, man. You gotta water your crops, and then you gotta pick the weeds, and then you gotta chop the weeds. And I'm like, yo, I don't like picking weeds in real life. Why am I picking weeds on a video game?
that. Just a really nice hobby to have. Whether you're spending
I cannot get with Stardew Valley. I know. Kill me in the comments, thumbs down the video. I cannot get with Stardew Valley. I've tried it so many times. I like that I can make the character. I like the pixel art. The dude, Confused Ape, is that it? Is that his name? Shout outs to him for being, independent creator and everything. I respect it. I like how it's, linked to Harvest Moon inspired, but I just can't get with it, man. I'm like, why do people think this game is fun? I know, unpopular opinion. Um, I saw one video and it was like how to like Stardew Valley. I mean, yeah, Stardew Valley. It was like how to like Stardew Valley. You're playing it wrong. So I was like, all right, let me watch this video. And then like I like started watching it, then forgot to come back to it, and now can't find it. I'm like, I guess I'll never learn how to like this game.
your time before bed, playing your favorite farming sim after a long day at work, hanging out in
No, I'm not trying to get done with work and then hop on the game and do some more work, especially lawn work. I hate doing lawn work.
gaming communities and Twitch streams or watching videos online about the new upcoming games. We've definitely seen a rise in its popularity in the last 5 years or so. Starting in 2020, for obvious reasons, video game usage actually went up 75%. It makes so much sense. In my opinion, people were trying to find solace and escape in cozy gaming.
I'm sorry if I'm chewing these candies in y'all ear, man. These mothers loud as mud. I'll try to hit mute.
And it soon became an important part of our day to day lives. A safe space, not only within those games, but also as an online community. From the very beginning, the cozy gaming online space has strived to be a place when people can be themselves, make friends, and come together solely for the love of gaming. Everyone was welcomed as long as they were nice. And I feel like it made gaming accessible again. It wasn't about competition, it wasn't about being a real gamer. It was only there for the purpose of comfort. And it's no surprise that with the rise of cozy gaming, we've also seen a rise of studies backing up the idea that gaming is good for your well being, which contradicts what we've been told for years. Which then leads me to my second point of my research and another part that I found really interesting that has actually been proven now that games can be good for your mental well being and in some ways even make you smarter, which I was not expecting that. An Oxford study published
I mean, yeah, if you think about it, because like even if you look at a game like chess, right? Chess just teaches you strategy and how to think moves ahead. So chess is nothing but a game. Video games are obviously nothing but a game, except they also teach you hand-eye coordination as well.
in Royal Society Open Science found that gaming doesn't appear to harm mental health at all. And one part that I found really interesting about this study in particular is that it is not related to what kind of game you're playing. It's mostly related to your relationship with that game. And if you're playing it because you love it and you want to play it, which I thought was really interesting and kind of backs up
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Let me run back what it said.
the idea that any game can be a cozy
Let me run back what you said real quick.
is that it is not related to what kind of game you're published, which I was not expecting that. An Oxford study published in Royal Society Open Science found that gaming doesn't appear to harm mental health at all. And one
Doesn't appear to harm mental health at all. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Um, I'm definitely not looking at stuff from a Harvard lens, obviously, or I think that's who she said the study was. Whoever, they're definitely more educated than me. But I guess just like my thing would be on the spiritual side. Like if it can hurt you, I know that your eyes, your eye gate, and a lot of stuff that you take in. I feel like if it's crazy, if you seeing a bunch of stuff like and this isn't throwing shade at anybody who plays these type of games, you know what I mean? But I personally cannot play manhunt these days. Not in the period of life that I'm at. Um, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna play manhunt and then that's gonna cause me to go crazy and like off my whole family or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that these things do affect us in ways that we might not necessarily um be able to pinpoint. Like it might be something off with us. We might be feeling down about something, and so I don't know exactly ins and out. I'm not even going to act like I understand it all spiritually, but to say that has no effect on you, I don't know if I believe that. I feel like that might be cap. I don't care if, it's um study saying it and they're smarter than me or not. I just feel like that's kind of cap.
One part that I found really interesting about this study in particular is that it is not related to what kind of game you're playing. It's mostly related to your relationship with that game and if you're playing it because you love it and you want to play it, which I thought was really interesting and kind of backs up the idea that any game can be a cozy game depending on who you are.
I mean, yeah, that is true as far as the last thing she said. That's why I said like Jet Set Radio, that could be a cozy game. You know, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater, that's a cozy game for me. What's another one? I mean, just let me know in the comments. It doesn't necessarily have to fall into the category on Steam of a cozy game, but it definitely can be. Pokemon, that's a cozy game. Koromon, if you ever played that, that's a cozy game for me. And that's what she's saying.
And how you interact with the game itself. I also found this really cool review of previous studies that talked about how video games can actually be used as a mental health intervention, and it can be a really good tool in improving people's mental well-being, especially when they're struggling with anxiety, depression, and ADHD. I think
Ooh, I'm gonna let her finish. Then I'm gonna.
that's really cool. And then
Yo, all right. That is huge, 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 big facts. I have ADHD myself, okay? And if you have ADHD, you know that fidget toys like really help us to focus, right? Like even here on my desk, like I got a I got a fidget spinner, right? These things are not in style anymore. They are not the fad, but I definitely have one because it helps me to sit here at this desk. Handheld gamings or handheld gaming is my fidget toy. That's one of the reasons I love handheld gaming. So I feel like I can play a game and concentrate on something more. Like I can play a game and listen to an audio book um or different things like that. So I 100% agree. And I know it's probably contrary to a lot of studies as well and a lot of popular belief because a lot of people probably say it's disruptive to ADHD because you know you're distracted and stuff. But sometimes with ADHD, the thing about it is sometimes you need just the right amount of distraction. If you know, you know what I'm saying. It's when it's too much distraction a lot of the times for me. But just a healthy amount of distraction to keep my brain going, to keep my brain entertained while I'm doing mundane things is like, mwah, you know. So whether that be YouTube or gaming, like it all serves its purpose in those regards.
and there was also another study done. It's titled Causal Effect of Video Gaming on Mental Well-Being in Japan 2020 to 2022. This is the most comprehensive investigation to date on the causal relationship between video gaming and mental well-being. And in this research, 97,602 Japanese residents ranging from 10 years old to 69 years old. Nice. Having a console significantly improve their mental well being. It's really interesting to look at this new scientific findings because it really goes to show how gaming has changed, the perception of gaming has changed. We've seen it in the gaming industry with how many cozy games we've gotten in the last few years, and especially this year, how many new companies are getting involved in creating cozy games. But also, I think most importantly, we've seen it in our lives. And it's really interesting. Sometimes I think there's this dissonance of like, well, you know, I love gaming and I feel good when I'm gaming. Should I feel guilty about this? And the answer is no. You shouldn't. There's even some studies that suggest that gaming can.
When you should feel guilty about gaming is when you are not handling your responsibilities and when you are putting gaming over things in your life that should be more important than gaming. God, your family, your job or career, that's when you should feel bad about gaming.
Improve your brain imaging, decision making, strategy planning, memory, hand eye coordination, brain flexibility. So, truly, all signs point to the idea that gaming is actually a really wonderful hobby to get into. And the reason I feel cozy gaming is very popular, and also one of the reasons why I think everyone should get into cozy gaming, is because it's also really accessible. Not only accessible in the way that they are games for every taste now, there's also games for every budget as well, which I think is really awesome. You don't even need a console to play a cozy game anymore. You can play cozy games from your phone now for free. And a lot of industries have started to make all kinds of games more accessible to all kinds of people in the way that they manage their difficulty levels, which I have been seeing that coming up in the gaming industry in the last 2 to 3 years. And it makes me really, really excited. But then there's also a beautiful part of the cozy gaming community that also really focuses on accessibility in terms of disabilities. Every time that we have a cozy gaming developing industry, they make such a good point highlighting their accessibility features in the games. There's also quite a few organizations that
Cool.
I will link below that focus on making gaming more accessible for all kinds of people. Whenever we see Wholesome Games directs, they always make such a point to highlight accessibility in gaming. Whenever we watch Whitethorn Games talk about their new upcoming games, they make such a point in making every single one of the games that they stand behind accessible for the majority amount of people. And I just think that makes cozy gaming a space that feels a lot safer for people in general. And also, we as a community are also very diverse. And I don't know that there are a lot of content creation fields or gaming fields in particular that have such a diverse cast of pioneers. We have so many queer people, we have people of all genders, we have people of all walks of life talking about cozy gaming. And I personally just feel very proud of that. The way that this community has such strong foundations in diversity and representation and making it a safe space for everybody is really showing the more that it grows. And I just think that's really awesome. There's also two other things that I really wanted to talk about that I find really interesting about cozy gaming. The first thing is the importance of third spaces. I think this has been a really interesting conversation that we've
I don't know what that is. What is the third space? Educate me.
seen happening online for a long time now. For those who don't know, the third space is something that people used to have back in the day. It was like a place that you frequent
Oh, okay. I know what a third space is. Like Friends, it's the coffee shop.
that isn't work or home, and is basically the place where you would recharge or socialize.
Speaking of coffee shop, I ain't drink no coffee this whole video. What am I thinking? Hold on a second. Now that's more like it. All right, let's get back to that.
And how those third spaces were so good for balance and mental health and having like a more well-rounded life, I suppose. Well, nowadays those third spaces are basically inexistent, and for a lot of people inaccessible, because a lot of these third spaces are charging money, and we also have impossible schedules where we barely have time to do anything other than work and sleep. So I think there's something to be said about online communities kind of not 100%, but definitely in some way replacing those third spaces. And I definitely feel like the cozy gaming community is one of those spaces that I would consider my third space, where I get to hang out with people online. I get to have relationships.
Let me know. Do y'all enjoy playing games online more or solo more or like couch co-op the most? I'm really interested, especially because a lot of people who watch this are I was gonna say cozy gamers, are retro gamers. The majority of gaming I do, I honestly do by myself. I mean, I might get online to play a game with my cousin, or I might play games with my kids sometimes, but I don't know, man. I don't explore online gaming too much. I guess because I want to hop in these rooms and them call me the N word all day. I'm just joking. That's not why, but I don't know. I look at gaming as a very I don't know, it's time to just I don't even know the words, but
Ships with people, and I get to talk about things that we're all passionate about and make friends. This is like personal, but when I first started making
personal. Thank you. Thank you. Girl who I'm watching, who I can't remember her name. Yes, gaming is a very personal thing for me. Thank you.
cozy gaming content, the only reason I did it was because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and make friends. And the amount of friends I have now, thanks to the cozy gaming community, truly makes me emotional. It makes me so grateful for this online space that we've created. If you're someone who
Dang, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm missing out on meeting people online and gaming with them in cozy gaming. Let me know. Am I missing out? Am I tripping? Am I might be tripping.
is craving that kind of community, then
I want a community. I mean, I got you guys, you know what I mean? We gotta hop on and play some games or something. You know what I mean? I gotta smash some of y'all in Street Fighter 6 with Kimberly.
definitely do recommend joining cozy gaming communities online because they are just the most loving, accepting, sweet beings out there. And the last thing that I wanted to mention, we all have this almost tacit understanding that we are all kind of connecting with our inner children in a way.
I just did a video about that. Go check out my video right here. Right here. Go check out my video about are we buying back our childhood? Okay. And yeah.
And just the importance of whimsy and play in our lives. I know that like inner child work is a sentence that has been thrown about so much that it basically doesn't mean anything anymore. In one way or another, a lot of people in the cozy gaming community are on the same kind of wavelength of healing those wounds through gaming, having this relationship to something that escapism while at the same time connecting to a deeper part of you, which seems completely opposite but somehow makes sense to me. Allowing ourselves to play again in a world that seems so serious all the time. I recently asked you guys why you gravitated toward cozy gaming. I got so many beautiful, heartfelt answers, and surprise, surprise, none of them were because I want to be the best gamer in the world or whatever. I appreciate all of your answers, by the way. It was a lot of
Yeah, because if you play cozy games, you probably suck at games for real. And I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I suck at games.
I wanted to connect with my inner child. I wanted to work on my PTSD. I want to lead a more balanced life. I want to slow down. And it just goes to show that cozy gaming is kind of bigger than just gaming, and let alone the fact that games are such a beautiful works of art. In my opinion, one of the highest forms of art. It incorporates so many arts in one: storytelling, visual arts,
Yeah, I think that video games is the best art. I don't think that there's anything touching it. Like she said, it combines so many different arts. And what other art can you actually be a part of? Right? Like a movie. You can, I mean, unless you're doing like a choose your own ending type movie or type book or something, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah.
animation, and technology, music, and sound effects. I think there's something to be said also about that experience enriching your life in the same way that any kind of art would. In conclusion, I guess
You know what's my favorite cozy game? If I had to think about it, or probably top three, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I love that game. I did a video about it right here.
what I really wanted to say is that I'm so grateful for the space that we've created online in which people can come in and be welcomed with open arms and be able to play and escape from their day to day life, especially in an era of mental health crisis. I think we've created something really beautiful here, and I think it's important that we preserve it and protect it and also learn the importance of what we're doing and why we're doing it. I guess this is just a love letter to cozy gaming and the people that I've met.
Yeah. So that video was dope. Make sure that you go check out Cozy Game Night. Shout outs to her. Uh yeah, let me know. Recommend some cozy games for me where it's not just like just about farming. I was trying to get my wife into cozy game. I was trying to get my wife into gaming in general. And she came to me one day. She was like, "Do you know that there's this genre of games called cozy games?" I said, "Yeah." Yeah. And so, I let her get my old Switch, because I got the OLED. So I let her play Animal Crossing, one of the top cozy games. And like she didn't really mess with it. She was like, "Yeah, I just feel like I'm lollygagging." I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too." Shout out, oh my gosh, they gonna kill me in the comments. I done dissed Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. Okay. Love you guys. God bless and salutations to the nations. Please subscribe. I'm on my goal to hit 1,000 subs. You feel me? We almost at 500. You know what I'm saying? We might be at 500 by the time this drop already. But shout outs to y'all. Also, I am giving away my old Trim UI brick, having a contest. The guidelines are in the community tab. So if you subscribe, you can see the guidelines there. I appreciate y'all. And once again, God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel Knot.